Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Talking Mons, our Digimon Ghost Game recap podcast. My name is JD, and I am, of course, joined, like I am every week, by Jeanette and Gary.
Hello!
Hiya!
And today we're going to be tackling episodes 29 and 30, titled Monster Pollen and Bad Friend. Last week we had an episode with the word monster in it, and this week we have an episode with the word monster in it. So,
Illuminati confirmed.
Hell yeah. So we'll go ahead and start with Monster Pollen, episode 29. This is a weird episode. and that's and that's not to say the next one isn't even weirder. But basically, Kiyo and Jellymon are find a lost girl in a department store, and they're helping her find her mom. But on the outside of this mall, a strange fog has fallen around it, and if you go outside, you just like breathe fire for a second and collapse. Basically, just like poisoning people.
But on the inside, there's a lot of spiders.
Little
everywhere.
tiny spider boys. They're not Dakugumon, they're Ko-Dakugumon, so they're like the tiny spiders. They're kind of cute in a weird way.
Yeah, which I didn't know that existed.
I think they're kind of new. But so Kiyo, Jellymon, and this little girl are just like running through the this mall department store, trying to avoid these spiders that are just like latching onto people and injecting them with poison. Only to find out that, hey, these kind of Digimon can't excrete their own poison, so obviously they're getting it from somewhere, until they get up to the roof, and this giant plant dragon is just spewing pollen all over the place. And that's kind of where we get our big fight for this episode. So that's the basics of this one. What did you guys think about this?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't the best ever, but it was pretty all right. I really like the the connection between Kiyo and Jellymon. The big thing that bothered me though is I don't understand why the child has a butt for a face.
Oh my god.
The child has a butt face.
Like, what is a dramatic change in art style? Just her face compared to every character we've seen so far.
Right.
Like, for a second, I thought that, oh, is she like a Digimon in disguise?
I thought she was some spirit or something because her face did not look right.
Right.
Yeah. But I think the scenario is kind of meh.
Yeah. I especially didn't like how it ended, where it's revealed that the dragon is like, yeah, I got lost, so I'm spewing all these pollen so my other plant dragon friends can come find me. And then Kiyo's like, dude, the pollen's poison to people, stop that. And he's like, okay, I'll stop it. And then he leaves.
Like, for an episode regarding Jellymon's Mega, it feels a little, the plot-wise feels underwhelming. Like the situation that they're in.
Sure.
I thought kind of the situation was worked because, you know, Kiyo was poisoned and he was trying not to die on them, and he finds the courage to be brave. I thought the resonance was there. It was more so, I mean, it's not the worst ending episode ever had, but it's just very rushed at the end.
It like the interaction and what happened to Kiyo works. It's just the whole mall situation thing. Which I feel like that if he clicked into the digital, well, not digital world, this like parallel world a lot sooner, a lot more people would have been fine instead of just getting bitten by the spider or fainting outside.
Mm-hmm.
This is Kiyo. Common sense and bravery are not his strong suits. Or confrontation.
But yeah, you kind of mentioned it. This is the episode we finally get to see Jellymon's ultimate form, Thetismon.
Jellymon goes through puberty.
Jellymon rocking some real Angelwoman vibes. It's like Angelwoman, if jellyfish. Also kind of has the crest of courage on her head. Not sure if that's related.
Well, the tabloid got her picture and say, oh, it's a goddess that saved us all.
Right. It's really funny when the public becomes aware of these monsters,
but still don't know what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I really like it,
and they kind of just shrug it off most of the time. Like, all right.
I mean, in this world, there's like Digimon happenings every 30 seconds. They gotta.
Well,
they can't get worked up about this shit anymore.
Yeah, and it's kind of nice that that this entire show is based around like, oh yeah, okay, holograms are an everyday thing, so everyone can just chalk it up to weird hologram craziness. But yeah, what do we think about Jellymon's evolution? Because like I think we had our say on Kano Weissmon a couple weeks ago in Gammamon Evolved. So how are we feeling about Thetismon?
I adore her. I think I love her design. I love her. I love her design. I like her personality, how she goes from a little shit to actually being someone who cares about other people. Mm-hmm. And then she digivolves and goes back to being a little shit, and it's great.
Yeah, I feel like the animation design doesn't do her card design justice. I'm on looking at the image on the wiki.
Right.
There's a lot more not really translucency, just more jellyfish materials. They're like kind of plasticky, light kind of do go through, and there's just some shine to it.
Yeah,
like the simpler animation design doesn't do her design justice.
Yeah, you don't get as much of the translucent stuff. I mean that's just kind of Jellymon in general.
Yeah, and to be fair, the animation in this episode was crap. So
yeah, it wasn't like super. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like super amazing. But yeah, we got to see Jellymon finally evolve. I imagine it'll be a few more episodes, and then Angoramon's going to evolve. And I don't know if you guys have looked up what Angoramon's ultimate is, but I kind of can't wait to see it in action.
I'm betting he's going to evolve, and this is episode 29 and 30, right? Because I saw the preview for 31. I think that's when he's going to digivolve.
Yeah, I'm sure it's right around the corner. But yeah.
I'm glad they're spacing them out a little.
Yeah, it's not just like one episode after another. Which I think I might have actually complained about that a couple episodes ago, where I'm saying like, okay, we got Kano Weissmon, where's everybody else? Because like in the old show, it'd just be like, okay, someone evolves, and then the next person evolves, and then it's so on and so forth. But then I have to kind of remind myself, like, okay, well, in season 1, they had like 8 kids to get through, so, and like 50 episodes. So yeah, everyone had to evolve an episode just to get through everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice that we have like just 3 major protagonists, so it's like you can like take your time spacing out their evolutions.
I just like Kiyo's character development in this episode, however fleeting it might be. It was nice to see him not with our heroes, but by himself, and to stand up for himself and everyone else. And I thought he got his moment, and I thought that was great.
Yeah, we need more of these standalone kind of episodes.
Yeah, because like I agree that I enjoy these little adventures that they can do on their own, because then you really get to like see these characters, like their real personalities like really come through, and like really get to show what they can do. So yeah, you like kind of put Kiyo up against a wall where he can't rely on Ruli or Hiro to bail him out of a situation. He's got to step up, and that just being able to do that, even though he ends up getting poisoned. I did actually really love where he's about to go out on the roof, and he's like all trying to act all tough, and he immediately just falls over, just tripping on the door frame.
Oh yeah, one more thing. I think between this episode and the next episode and everything that's happened in between, Kiyo he has a reason to be terrified of everything. He just gets every little shit thing ever happened to him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, every affliction just happens to happen to him. So I don't blame his cowardice at all.
Jeremy Snow here, owner and editor-in-chief of The Geekly Grind. I'm interrupting your awesome, regularly scheduled programming to ensure that you know about our Geekly Grind podcast network, of which this show is a treasured member of. If you haven't had a chance to check out our site, you can do so at www.thegeeklygrind.com, and while you're there, Check out the other members of our steadily growing podcast family, including the anime-centric Blake and Spencer Get Jumped, discovering new heroes and comic book keepers with Chris and Lance, exploring the vast universe of geekdom with Geeksploration, or of course appreciating animation's finer details with the Ink and Paint Club. Escape your weekly grind at the Geekly Grind.
Alright, so we will go ahead and move on to episode 30, which is titled Bad Friend. And man, this is a weird episode, man.
I like it.
I like it, but it's weird.
Yeah, I really dug it. I thought it was great.
So basically this revolves around a friend of like Ruli's friends. Like, you know, the two girls she's always hanging out with. I guess like the character we're focusing on this episode was a friend of theirs, but for reasons that I don't think are fully explained, like they kind of like stopped hanging out, and so the girl felt like she was being rejected, and they like ditched her to go hang with Ruli all the time.
The popular girl.
Yeah, they ditched her to go hang out with the popular girl. So she like hasn't been to school in a while. Has kind of become a weird shut-in. Apparently she like part of the reason is because she hates her new teacher. So she becomes a weird shut-in. And for no real reason, ex-Tyrannomon and Waru Monzimon are just like hanging out in her closet, and then they just like meet up with her and like, hey, we can like help you get back at all the people that have like shunned you in the world and all the things that annoy you. So they just like randomly start turning people into the little voodoo dolls. And by like some people, I mean like I'm guessing upwards of 50 people.
And they look like the dolls from Coraline.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, they get the teacher, they get her parents, they
and
get
a random delivery. Oh, sorry.
The pizza guy.
Poor pizza guy.
They're like anytime she like runs into somebody, it's just like ex-Tyrannomon's like, should we do it to him? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. And they just like shoot him with a beam and they turn into a doll. Yeah. Fucking Kiyo gets dolled.
Yeah, like at the very beginning, it's like everyone had a reason because they slightly pissed her off. But then towards the end, it's like anybody that's in her path.
Yeah, like they go to a park and just start shooting everybody. But yeah, so I like the premise of this. Like, it's kind of a creepy concept of just like fucking turning people into dolls. And I honestly thought they were gonna start murdering people when they started like playing with the dolls, and then the dolls started breaking apart. So I'm like, oh god, that's like the equivalent of this guy's organs coming out or something.
I think it implies that if they didn't repair the doll, it would have been like that, given Kiyo's hair.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good point.
Yeah. So we got that going on, but then also like regular Monzemon is running around, and like you don't know what's going on with him, but like everyone keeps seeing him just like being shy and like running around, but he's like, I wanted your help, but I'm like not good at talking to people, so that was like his whole deal. But he like comes to like wrangle Waru Monzimon and ex-Tyrannomon to basically like tell them to stop doing that.
They also convinced the girl that they're not exactly your friend because you just enable them. That's why they choose to hang around with you.
Well, I think they were saying is that like we hang around with this girl because all you got to do is like barely compliment her, and then we can go around just like doing shit with her. So it's like she's just really easy to kind of like manipulate like that. So
I kind of don't get it though, because couldn't they have just done it on their own?
I guess.
I think they want. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Gary.
I think they want the approval of someone. That's not them.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It like the motivation for the monsters this episode is kind of random. It's just like a thing to do, I guess. But yeah, so I mean, other than like kind of a creepy premise, I mean, not much really happens. Just Monzemon comes in at the end and like helps Kano Weissmon fight the monsters. I did think it was interesting that Hiro brings up once again that the ultimate forms are kind of on a timer, because I think he even makes mention that like, okay, we may not have a lot of time, so we got to do this quick. So I'm still wondering if like there is actually a time limit for the ultimate forms. So I don't know yet.
This one thing that I really like about this episode is not just the creepiness, it's the prolonged interaction with a regular person between Digimon and people.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of prolonged interaction. The only one I can really think of, and it's not even direct, is the like way early when the dude with the bird god.
Yeah.
But no, this one they're like literally just hanging around, talking to her, just like hanging out and stuff. So, I was if this episode didn't wrap up the way it did, I was almost gonna wonder if this person was gonna be like a bad tamer. Like they were gonna get away at the end, and she's like, "Nope, these guys are my partners now," and she's just gonna like be a constant thorn. But like, nope, everything resolves itself at the end, and monsters decide to be good.
But I can see them of like the girl and the monster returning, hang out together after they reflect on their what they did.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jeanette.
I don't know. They don't seem to actually like her. They just like that she lets them do shit.
Yeah, but after being scolded, they might have a change of heart. Like there's this connection between them and this character.
Maybe.
Because I would like to see, at the very least, this girl return, understanding somewhat they are not hologram, but they're creatures roaming around this world that she's interacted with before.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be interesting to see.
Interestingly enough, there is someone in this episode who does realize that they're Digimon and not just holograms.
Oh, tell us.
Rory's friend. She comments
Yeah.
at the end of the episode. She's like, "You're bunny person," and she's right there when she's there when the Digimon come out and attack her, and so she has to know now.
I don't know if she fully knows, but I think she has a big suspicion, which I still have this theory that I think a lot of these side friends are going to end up getting partners at some point, or at least become more integral to the plot. Like, I think Hero's goofball friend, I think he's going to be more important. I think both, if not the one friend of Ruli's, is going to be more important. I still think that kid that they hung out with at the greenhouse a couple episodes back, I think he's going to return at some point. And I could maybe see this girl coming back too. I'm just kind of hoping they open it up to other people like coming into the fold and like realizing what Digimon are and like helping out or something, rather than just like leave it up to the main three.
Yeah. And even if they're not like playing that much of a role, I hope that they would have a normalized view of Digimon, or what they think are advanced hologram, that they would be able to help the main three in certain situation, kind of like how random Digimon helped them around town.
Yeah, and I'm thinking of this more of a tamer situation where we had like the main three characters at the first, but like later on, like Takado's friends got partners, and Jerry and that Rio guy, he was like partners way before everybody else. So, but he still kind of came in later on. So I'd like to see something in that vein, but even if it's just like their friends become more aware and like can help out more and be like bigger parts of the story, I'd be interested in that too.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it'll probably be for more like the finale, but I think it's going to happen.
And even like now that Ruli's friend like has a pretty good hunch about like, okay, these monsters that are following you around aren't like just straight holograms, and they even kind of commented on it earlier in the episode when they're all out to lunch and they're feeding Gammamon.
That's cute. I really like that scene.
We get another shot of Gammamon riding around on the Roomba.
Listen, they know what I come here for.
Every couple episodes, we have to throw Jeanette a bone and put Gammamon on the Roomba, even though he's not supposed to do that.
Exactly.
At least it's not biting it.
That's true. He's not trying to eat it. But yeah, so I'm kind of feeling like kind of okay about the last two episodes. I'm still gonna gripe that this is not pushing the plot forward at all. Yeah, we got a new evolution, and like maybe kind of sorta Ruli's friend might know more or is starting to catch on more, but like When was the last time we saw Hero's dad?
Listen, Hero's dad went and got cigarettes, and he's not coming back.
Look, a couple episodes ago, Hero gave Black Gatomon a letter to give to him. I want to know what's going on with that. Like, this dude is in the digital world. These kids have yet to see the digital world, so they just see the weird little environments they can manifest.
Right. Go ahead.
I need plot, man.
What I'm interested in is that after Anoramon Digivolves, if it's gonna continue with the slice of life stuff, or if it's gonna continue in a more plot centric direction.
I hope it's the latter, man. Because I need. Look, we're 30 episodes in. I need this plot to start moving.
I'm pretty sure if it doesn't start moving after the next after Anoramon Digivolves, it's just not going to move. It's just going to be slice of life the entire show.
I wouldn't mind too much of slice of life, but it's they have this hook at the very beginning of the show, and we have this expectation.
Yeah,
if they made a straight up slice of life Digimon show, I wouldn't care. I would watch it.
Yeah, I mean, we've complained. We've talked about this on the show a number of times, I'm sure, at this point. But yeah, it's just like, if it's going to be a slice of life show, make it a slice of life show, and make it like a Monster of the Week show. Don't dangle these like bigger plot threads and just don't do anything with them.
See, I've watched so much anime at this point. I've watched numerous shows which not like a huge amount, but a fair amount, where they open with plot and then nothing happens until like the last 4 or 5 episodes. And if they do that here, it won't be the first time I've seen it, and it won't be the last.
I think my problem is that I'm still operating under the assumption that we're only getting like 50 to 60 episodes, because that's about the normal length of a Digimon season. It could be longer. We actually don't know what the episode count is, so who knows how long this is going to be. So they could go another 20 episodes before getting into the plot and still have plenty of time to do something. So who knows? I don't know, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think what I was going to say. It's like, I mean, to be honest, I hope it gets more plot centric, just because I feel like the quality of the episodes is starting to drop, and they need something else to keep it going.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, I can't find an exact answer on how long this will be.
Yeah, well,
it's for the rest of our lives.
I have some theories about not like how we're gonna start moving the plot forward, but just like things that could happen. But to get into that would be getting into some spoilery territory. So I'll save it for when it starts happening in the show. I'll bring it up then if it actually happens. But all right, guys, I think that'll do it for this week. Appreciate everybody who listens. Be sure to drop us a comment on our socials or in the comments below what you thought about these episodes. And until next time, hope everyone stays safe, and we'll catch you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.